match is now officially a Judy Bagwell on a forklift match.
Broken, thankless, push you down, open.
Just because I want to start off with positivity today, I want to give a big shout out to the band Reason 9 for allowing us to use their song Gloom Phase. Local artist, go support local Michigan independent music.
Have you actually watched every episode for the last like 3 that we've done?
What do you mean?
Because I've been doing that at the beginning. Is
Yeah.
just giving a shout out to Mark and Reason 9 for letting us use the song.
It's a great song. Me and Annie were talking about shit today because she's getting her own entrance theme done. I was like, it's better to have them done by Michigan artists.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just happy that I have one that like the dude is cool with.
Mhm.
Like he was like, yeah, sweet, appreciate it. Thanks for reaching out to me. Awesome. Like I was like, dope, bet.
We
Yeah,
have a lot
so
to talk
first off,
about today. So let me just
why the fuck? Why are the letters not this? This is how that should look coming down the freeway.
It's fucking bad.
This
It's
is how that should
really
look. This is the
bad.
same color too. This is the same color scheme right here. This is how this should look.
Bro, it's the Temu Hollywood sign. It's the most Detroit thing I've ever seen. It's stupendous. Hi, my name's Clinton Davis. You can find me at PK Batman on Twitter to my right.
I'm Ethan. You can find me at the Hoochie Daddy EJ on Instagram.
We are On a Forklift. You can find us on Twitter at On a Forklift Pod. You can also find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. Mainly stick to YouTube.
Yeah.
It has been one, like, because I messaged you last week saying, hey, I'm not going to be able to do the show next Thursday.
Yep.
But it's been genuinely one of the biggest weeks in professional wrestling. Normally we have interviews lined up the ass. We have no interviews tonight because it's the show after Mania, and we had what? Oh, Ethan froze. Hey Reed, how are you doing, bud? We had so many shows this past weekend, and then as soon as WrestleMania ended, we're going to start off with this one. Tony Khan made the announcement Sunday night that they would be airing the CCTV footage of CM Punk, his altercation with Jack Perry.
Yeah, let's get this garbage out of the way. No, we didn't. Wade, sorry. But let's get this garbage out of the way first, and then talk about how fucking awesome wrestling is.
Yeah, because genuinely everything Punk said, because I listened to the Ariel Helwani interview, and everything Punk said is what happened in the video. Except
for the punch. That's the only thing.
Except for the punch. He didn't throw a punch. Jack didn't throw a punch. He choked a guy. I think this is Tony. Let me see if I can pull up the photo without us getting DMCA'd. Because someone like hit the nail on the head. Save, because I think I can save. I think I can show photos. I just don't think I can.
Now, Reed, I agree. We don't know what was said. However, regardless of what is said, and I'm not saying I want to make this clear. I'm not saying Jack's right. But whatever's said, you don't assault your coworker.
I'm not saying either one of them are right. But this is the face of a guy who knows exactly what's going to happen.
That's a face of a guy who's been through the shit. All I'm saying is, whatever the footage was, it doesn't make Punk look any worse. Truthfully, that point in the finger, that's a fuck you, I quit moment. If speaking from a guy who's been fuck you, I quit. All I know is, and he already did. It really only makes AEW look worse because that's what happened.
Reed, you're not wrong. He very well could have said, I'm gonna do that. Do I believe that for a second? No, I don't. Like, after seeing everything, it looked like it was handled very well by Chris Hero
And Samoa Joe.
Malachi Black. I find it funny that Hook just did the very Hook thing of walk over and mind his own business. I popped real hard when I saw Swerve walk by and he just shook his head and walked by. Like, I pop hard for that. But the footage did nothing. It was damning to AEW. As Ethan and I were talking about this week in our group chat, we started this whole podcast because AEW was so good, and we were just like, fuck yeah, let's start a podcast. Finally, Punk's back. We wanted to do this, and
it's literally legitimately the night, like the reason that this became a thing was the night after Punk came back.
Yeah. And
he cried.
I cried on Sunday too. I cried for WWE Endgame. I'm over the Punk shit. Like, he's in another company. You guys are wasting time when you have Mariah and Mina in the ring making out. Like, all this did was make me not give a fuck about the FTR Young Bucks match. It didn't need this. And I don't know. I'm souring on AEW a bit. Are you writing down on your board right now?
Yes.
Are you doing?
It's for us.
Okay, about to say. Yes. And that's exactly what they did on Monday Night Raw. That's exactly what they did. They're giving us Liv versus Rhea. We're going back a few years, baby. It's time for wrestling to be horny again.
Okay, so I want to finish up talking about the Punk thing, get that out of the way. One, my personal belief is that this did absolutely no favors to AEW. I don't actually think it damaged anything to Punk because Punk came out and he's been corporate guy. So yeah, he hasn't been Punk, but he's been corporate Phil, if you want.
And hold on. I'm gonna point this out. You know me, I'm the biggest Punk hater. Have we had any backstage heat from him in WWE outside of the initial him coming back since he came back?
No, because they're professionals. So
do you think it's just down to management at that point?
Yeah. Okay. It becomes a thing. And what I think it is, it's a respect for management. Tony does not have the respect that stuff gets pulled because nobody's pulling that shit with Trips. And it's not that I think that he's necessarily the be all end all of like best management guys, but like you're just not pulling that with him. I mean, that's a guy you're in, I guess for Punk's credit, he's at the last stop. He's at the last stop in his career. If something happens here, he has nothing.
Yeah.
Because he's back under the umbrella of the people of the biggest sports entertainment, professional wrestling, mixed martial arts company in the world.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to pull up the WrestleMania results right now, just because I
do that. I'm just going to say this. If you have the idea, and this is exactly what I believe has happened this whole time, and I don't know what was said to Tony. I have no idea. But if you continue to play if you absolutely continue to play the victim in every single situation, and it's not a situation where Tony Khan's been accused of doing anything, but if you continue to play the victim in every single situation that you are in, you lose all credibility. And that is what's happened with Tony Khan. He has lost all credibility as a wrestling booker, as a boss, as the head of a promotion. He has lost every single shred of credibility, especially by putting that on the air and being as petty as he is. CM Punk lives rent-free in the head of every single person at AEW, and I don't believe that, or every single person in power at AEW.
And you and I know all about free real estate.
Yeah, I know all about living in people's
you and I know all about it.
No, Reed, I don't think he had. I mean, he had credibility with me after the first year and a half of Dynamite, and that has death has eroded.
What up, Preston?
What's up, Preston?
He had credibility, yes, absolutely, because he's the whole reason this podcast is started. Like, no lie, no, nothing like that. CM Punk is the whole reason.
Oh no, I think he's talking about TK.
Oh, TK, yeah, because like we're this is something we'll talk about. All Out 2021 was a perfect pay-per-view, start to finish. I can't see a flaw in that card. Even with Paul Wright versus Chuckle Fucklebaiter. I can't even remember his name right now. Cody's
Marshall.
lackey.
QT Marshall. If
QT
Russ
Marshall.
here.
Even that didn't bring the card down. Tony Khan at one point was the best booker, but he allows his wrestlers to run the asylum and do essentially whatever they want.
Like you said it earlier, it's 2000 WCW, 2009 TNA.
Yeah, that's essentially what it is right now. And I hope and pray that it doesn't end up like WCW. I hope it doesn't, because I like AEW. I like seeing it flourish. I like them putting on these banger matches, but I feel that's what AEW needs to go back to doing. Is just putting on banger match after banger match after banger match.
It's okay to stay in your lane. Like, I think it's safe to say that it's okay to stay in your lane. You don't have to. Maybe you're not the storyline, guys. Maybe you're not. Maybe you strike gold once in a while, like you do with MJF. And by the way, how fucking much are they missing MJF right now?
Very much right now.
It's because you have a guy like that that's going to tell the story, that's going to develop the story. But if you don't have somebody that's like that, which they don't have, you're not going to drive anything. Christian was doing his damnedest to fill in at that time, but damn, that man needs time off. He's old. He's got moms. He's got moms to bang.
Let's move on from this, because I don't want to talk about this shit anymore. It was dumb. It was damaging to the company, and it did absolutely nothing to hurt CM Punk.
Ooh.
No. It backfired. And they wanted to do that because of the spectacular weekend that WWE had with WrestleMania. Because WrestleMania was...
fantastic.
Night one, okay. You know, night one had me great.
Sorry.
Night two, perfect night of wrestling.
If you gave me night one WrestleMania 36, say you gave me that for 35. 36 was pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so WrestleMania 35, WrestleMania 37, if you gave me night one as one of those, I'd be like, yo, this is fucking great. This is fucking awesome. 33 even. Like, awesome. Fucking great. You gave it to me now, and I went, you know what? It was a solid, like, 7. It was like a good Backlash pay-per-view.
It was a good,
right?
Yeah, it was a good B-show pay-per-view.
You gave me night two, and night one got better because of what happened on night two, because night one set up night two.
Yeah. Combined, this is like, if we're combining both nights, it's a top 5 Mania of all time. If we're going solely based on night two is a top 2. I think that's right
X7?
behind, I think it's right behind X7 as the best WrestleMania of all time. It's not me being facetious. Let me run down this card. We had Drew McIntyre beating Seth Rollins in the opener. And then I'm going to throw this one out there. A top 3 cash-in of all time. Top 3. I put that right behind Edge and fucking Seth Rollins.
I loved every bit of it because it was the perfect way to cash in. It was the perfect way to get somebody to get their Mania moment. It continued a storyline. And you know what? Credit to Drew. He put over somebody who needed it. So as far as I'm concerned, we're Gucci.
Then you go into undoubtedly, okay, so you keep freezing. I think your internet sucks tonight. Ethan? Oh, looks like I lost Ethan. So let me run down this card. Okay, you there?
I'm here.
Okay, Jesus Christ. Are you hardwired?
No, I'm upstairs. What are you talking about?
I will give you a 50-foot long Ethernet cable to run up your stairs.
I have a 100-foot long Ethernet cable downstairs. I'm hardwired to self-destruct. Don't take me down, Metallica.
And then you go into the worst match on the card, and it's not even a bad match. It was fun. It was the Pride versus the Final Testament. And you had Bubba Ray Dudley as the special guest referee.
Is it just me, or did this seem like this might be Bobby Lashley's last Mania?
I don't think Bobby Lashley's got more in WWE left in him, to be honest.
It just kind of has that like feel that like this is Bobby's last Mania. I don't know why.
It could be. I don't know. It was a fun match. And then here, I want to bring this point up. AJ Styles has been with the WWE now for what? This is his 8th WrestleMania. So this is AJ Styles' 8th WrestleMania. His three best matches at WrestleMania are The Undertaker.
God, what a love it. Love it. It's not even a real match, and it's so good.
Shane McMahon.
This is fair.
And now LA Knight.
One night.
Because every other match AJ has had at Mania has been dog shit. The Shinsuke Nakamura one I know is a fine match. It's a fine wrestling match. But it wasn't what we expected. So we all look at that as it's a disappointing match. LA Knight and fucking AJ put on a banger. They put on a good 3-star banger. That's what I was looking for, was a 3-star banger.
You know what was crazy to me? We didn't have a 5th star classic on this pay-per-view.
No, we had a full 5-star though.
Yes, we did.
We had
two of them, in my opinion.
Yeah, were they on night 1 and night 2, or just both on night 2?
Yeah, it was night 2, or night 1 and night 2.
Okay. Then we go into Logan Paul and Kevin Owens versus and the whole triple threat thing. And my favorite thing, the part of the whole night that made me laugh the hardest, was Kevin Owens throwing the golf cart in reverse, backing up the aisleway to Randy Orton and going, "Get in, bitch. We're going to go beat Logan Paul's ass."
And the commentary acknowledging it. Hey, here's 2 guys that arrived to a triple threat to fight each other at the same or together.
And those 2 played off each other so well because they're both notorious for turning on their partners. So it was just like, when are we going to do this? What? And then Orton went for that RKO, and Owens pushed him. He just went.
Yeah.
And the only way that Orton can, because Orton's just great. Oh, yeah. And then I Speed. No one told him not to say fuck or the N-word on pay-per-view. And then just barked in Orton's face and got murder fucked. It was great.
Yeah, instantly no one had ever shown it. Somebody was like, "Hey, look, you're going to do a spot with Randy Orton. You can get a little mouthy, you can do whatever you want. Randy's going to guide you through the thing," which means Randy's going to make you do what Randy wants you to do. No one had ever said, "Hey, you should look at that footage from the Punjabi prison match and see what happens to the Singh brother that gets pulled off."
No, that wasn't the. Oh, it was when he got.
It was the Punjabi prison match.
I like to think of the one where he throws him up and he over rotates and comes down on his neck.
Oh, yeah.
But Orton it was a fun triple threat. It was a great triple threat. It
was good because there was nothing. Yes, the U.S. title was on the line. I get it. There's nothing on the line in this match. There was no huge storyline here. There was a good little storyline. This was exactly what a mid-card title needs. And it's what Logan Paul needed, too, because it's another match that legitimizes Logan Paul as a U.S. champion.
What's going on there? Yeah, that was the best women's match of the weekend. Kudos to the 6 woman, which was fun, and Becky and Rhea put on a banger, but Io Shirai and Bayley was everything I wanted.
I enjoyed it.
Outside of no Paramore as the entrance music for Bayley, it was everything I wanted. The only thing that would have made it better is if Poppy would have played Io to the ring. And you could have got Poppy. If you can get Motionless in White, you can get Poppy.
Sure, Poppy might have been there.
Yeah, probably. But just night 2 was better than night 1, but night 2 couldn't have happened without night 1. And I definitely think we can both agree that the best match on night 1 was Sami Zayn versus Gunther.
Yes, hands down. It's not the match I wanted, because the match I wanted was Chad Gable. But not too many people can put emotion into a match like Sami Zayn can.
He is the best underdog in professional wrestling history.
He's the underdog from the underground, sir. Don't you forget it. We're calling back to 2014 NXT Black and Gold taglines.
He is the underdog with trumpets.
Yep.
He's sad
when you're listening to ska music. It is impossible to be sad and listen to ska music. And even Where Have You Been?
And initially, when I watched the ladder match, I was disappointed. I was like, this feels rushed. It was the second longest match on the card at 17 and a half minutes. And then I rewatched it and fuck, that was a pretty decent ladder match.
Yeah, it was solid.
I think the thing that killed it was how quickly Waller
DIY
and
got taken out?
Theory. No,
Oh, okay.
that Theory and Waller won the SmackDown tag titles because that was like 5 minutes in.
Did they
And then we
peel?
had-
So I have a question about that. Did they peel out and just leave, or did they after they took that bump spot off the ladder? They didn't seem like they were.
They
involved
took out. I saw them take out Waller. I know that Waller got powerbombed through a ladder on the outside with the SmackDown title around his shoulder.
Gotcha.
Theory, I think,
Hey.
popped up once or twice.
We have Bree. Hi, Bree. Yeah. I just don't remember them doing that. I am a little sad that DIY got taken out as quick as they did and really were a non-factor in the match. Obviously, you can't make everybody in there. But their DX gear was great. Thank you, R-Truth, yet again, for thinking that they were DX.
And then even if Cody didn't finish his story, R-Truth finished his.
And really, he finished his and he got an encore on Monday.
Yeah, he did, because he got to team up with his childhood hero when he was 10 years old, watching John Cena every Saturday morning while eating cereal.
Oh boy, I love R-Truth. And I don't care that he's probably going to hold that tag belt for a month. I don't care. It doesn't matter. This was needed. This is a nod to him. This is like a hey.
Before they drop him to the War Dogs.
This is like a hey to Miz. It's like a, hey.
Thank you.
Respect. So I those two are hilarious together. It's good stuff. I'm glad to see it. My biggest takeaway, even on night one, everybody was having fun.
Yeah, it was a fun night.
There's a difference in the energy that can't be understated right now.
No, because like Triple H came out first on night one to usher us in, and it really felt like this is the end.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything that involved McMahon is done. This is the last remnants of him. We're tying up everything that was left of him is tied up tonight, and on Monday it's all trips, which I felt was great. Triple H deserves all of his flowers because he weathered the ship through the storm that was all of the lawsuit.
Go watch Paul Heyman's speech. He says everything perfectly.
Yeah. And let's not forget the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame was fantastic this year.
Bull Nakano!
Bull Nakano. I think they need to change the format up. And, because, Paul Heyman talked for about 40 minutes. And the show was 2.5 hours long, which led to people getting their speeches cut. So I think we really need to, if you're going to be the headliner, headline the show. Paul Heyman was the headliner, and he opened up the show, which
I think they opened up the show just to eliminate the ECW chants during everything because fans are dicks. I think I would kind of like them to go. The in-ring thing is cool, but I almost kind of want them to go back to like a venue, like a theater venue.
St. Andrews Hall.
Fuck, the Fox is right there. And you want to go to St. Andrews Hall, you drunk
Masonic
bastard.
Temple.
Once again, no. I think the reason they did that was so there wasn't the ECW chance. Also, the people that came after him to accept awards, Muhammad Ali was dead. Thunderbolt Patterson talked for far too long, but I'm glad that, old G still got it. He got up in the ring, walked himself up there. That was cool. And then Bull just really can't talk that much. Oh, and then The Rock's mom is dead. So basically The Rock didn't need to talk personally.
RIP. R.I.P. Aki Bono.
Yep.
R.I.P. New Jack.
Ooh, hey, well, not Preston. New Jack would tell OJ to R.I.P. He was a fan of his work. If anybody knows, if anybody knows the promo we're talking about, New Jack is.
It's one of my favorite promos in wrestling history. I unfortunately quote that one more than I should, just because I'm a fan of New Jack's promos. They're great. I feel people should study New Jack more for heat instead of just going for this cheap bullshit. That dude generated nuclear heat.
That's because he would stab you if you didn't boo him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
also coming soon, because I started working on something. Ethan doesn't know about this yet. I have a few top 10 lists that I'm going to be recording and editing together. And they're not going to be the normal, like, oh, my 10 favorite wrestlers and shit like that.
Are you pulling a parts fun known on me right now?
I'm going to make, like, the first list we're releasing is going to be the top 10 news articles you will hear about on every news list.
Number one,
know, like I'm making top 10 lists for people who want to act like they've been watching wrestling their whole life.
Okay, so they are wrestling related, because I was gonna say,
Yes.
Lyle, wake up! They hit the second tower. That would be the number one news article on that list. What channel doesn't matter?
Up!
Wow. Okay.
Is this kid crying again?
Christ, Ethan.
Yeah, it happens.
Oh my God. But let's talk about the worst thing on Mania. Brother versus brother doesn't work anymore.
No, not in that, especially considering the part on night 2 where, the part on night 2 where they had the little fight on the ramp was better than their whole match on night 1.
Fuck yeah, it was. Okay. All of us have seen it. Let's just dive into the main event of night 2. Because this is... Everything okay?
Yeah, it's Thursday, so my kid's crying.
Okay.
I get it. It's a Thursday. Why not?
So the main event of night 1 was the Bloodline versus Seth and Cody, with the stipulations being that if Seth and Cody win, Bloodline banned from ringside. If Bloodline win, it's a Bloodline rules match, which essentially went down to a no-holds-barred match.
So can we talk about this real quick? Because
it was the longest match in history, not in WrestleMania history, not an Iron Man match.
The other thing with that whole thing is it made no sense because it actually gave an advantage to Cody. If you put more than 45 seconds of thought into it, you're like, yeah, lose the match, because then you get to interfere with stuff too and not have it worried about you.
It was a situation where the stipulation didn't matter because we all knew the result.
Right.
We knew this wasn't going to be a straight up singles match between Cody and Roman. It just couldn't happen that way.
No.
So of course, The Rock and Roman win after 45 pissing minutes. It went too long. You could have cut that match 15 minutes.
Yeah, there was a bit too much in it.
A little bit too much. I enjoyed the parts where The Rock is like fully acknowledging he's the boss, and when he was being counted out, he looked at the ref and said, "Stop counting or you're fucking fired." That part I thought was dope.
They did.
Bro, I'm gonna ask you a question right now.
Yeah.
Are you working on shit for your fucking TikTok shop right now?
No, I'm trying to fold origami things out of Post-it notes. I keep fucking up.
Stop, because you look so distracted and it's fucking me up.
I'm not. I'm listening. I'm involved in.
You're
this.
not. It's just you looking down like you're trying to fucking manifest.
Because even though we're a visual podcast, we still have a big audio content to it. No, The Rock finally, like, a lot of this stuff took a long time to capitalize. I thought it was running its course. It was long in the tooth. It felt like it was going on forever. The continued like I'm the head, the whatever, the final boss he has. First off, that entrance though was fucking great.
It was dope. The dopest
So
entrance
fucking
of the
cool.
weekend. Barring Bailey's. Bailey's was my favorite entrance of the weekend.
Oh yeah, she got oiled up naked dudes to carry her out. Like, who doesn't want that?
It was really appealing to the bisexual energy in me.
I just was disappointed there were no wacky wavy inflatable flailing arm tube men from Al Harrington's wacky wavy inflatable flailing arm tube man Emporium. Are you okay? Clinton, speak to me. Speak to me.
Sometimes you just say too much.
Or do I never say enough to keep you entertained? Shut the fuck.
No, I wanted to hit you.
Tell me to never grow a mustache. Only a mustache again.
Let's look at that mustache.
Yeah, let's not do that. Also, let's look at how fat my face was there. Holy shit.
I know, you've lost a lot of weight.
It's not even that I've lost weight. It's I've lost this. I'm
And you
back.
still got your ass, though.
Yeah, I look at...
I'm still trying to set up that Chuck Stein versus Hoochie Daddy in a Hoochie Daddy Shorts death match.
I look at older photos or older episodes that we've done, and I'm like, wow, damn, I was fat as shit. Why didn't anybody tell me? Everybody that's in the comment section, shame on you.
They did. They called you Fat Val Kilmer.
Oh, they did. They called me
Yes,
Fat Val
they
Kilmer.
did.
And Ginger Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, where's Ophi?
If we stream on Twitch ever again, she'll watch. She was when I was streaming games the other night, she was watching.
Anyway, sorry about that. We're distracting. Night one was like okay. It was like the second Thor movie.
The night 2 was a fucking WWE Endgame. Like it was Goku versus Majin. It was Goku versus Final Boo.
It opened with, first off, a shout out to the lady that made the gear in like no time for Drew.
Yeah, because the Drew McIntyre, for those who don't know, his gear got lost. His Mania gear got lost. It was. I want to find out who this woman is because she deserves all the shout out in the world.
I think her name is Mandy.
I'm just going to Drew McIntyre's fucking.
Yeah, so her name is Mandy. He's gonna pull us. What's up, Coco? That one, fantastic. Also loved it. Very reminiscent. It was the same as the Roddy Piper entrance, the bagpipes and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So freaking sweet. And then Seth Rollins comes out and does the New Year's Eve Philly thing, looking like a space guardian owl. He looked like the beginning of the Fly By Night album from Rush. Super cool.
He did.
Loved it. And I'm honest, we both sat there and went, hey, what if this is going to be a squash match? And when he hit that first Claymore, there was this tiny moment in us that we were like, oh, it is going to be a squash match. And then it wasn't, but that was okay. That was okay because it worked out. The match built. And you know what? Honestly, it was good. It was good. It did what it needed to do. It didn't need to be a grand match.
Mandy Baker.
Okay. That match didn't need to be the best thing in the world. It just needed to be good enough and give the crowd energy. And they did. The crowd on night 2 was, and even Triple H acknowledged it. Even though night 2 was actually colder than night 1, night 1, I believe, was windy. And they were chilly. And he said night 2, the crowd was into it and they weren't as cold. And it's, it proved it because that crowd was fired up. Stayed from step 1.
Yes, hold on, goddamn. Yeah, she left WrestleMania night 1 early to stay up until 4 a.m. making Drew McIntyre gear, and the gear looked fucking awesome. His entrance was fucking awesome. Drew McIntyre was fucking money. That was a great opener. And then him...
Bored at work, lol.
What?
Bored at work, LOL.
Bro, yeah, because he fucking texted at work. I know I've got that photo.
He tweeted out bored at work. Oh, boy. What a troll. I love what Drew is doing right now. This is the best stuff of his career. And I've said that each year for the last 3 years.
He still hasn't signed a new contract.
Yeah, but they got Clash at the... And we got the announcement. Yo, Clash at the Caduceus too.
Yeah, that... He genuinely took his girl's phone and texted bored at work on Twitter. It was awesome.
Yeah,
he retweeted himself going, fuck.
What's up, Tommy? How are you? That was really good. It was a fun match.
He got in CM Punk's face.
He completed the whole thing.
Productively. So he was making love to that announcer's table.
Well, and it followed through with the whole thing of maintain the vision on your goals, and he didn't maintain the vision on his goal, and he got tripped up because of it.
Have you seen the TikTok of the woman who's just screaming at her TV? All you had to do was fucking leave. That's all she is saying is CM Punk is whooping his ass. It fucking It was the perfect opener. It's the best opener in WrestleMania since I would say Daniel Bryan and Triple H at 30.
They all you got to do is leave. That's exactly what they say when they carry me out of Applebee's after all you can drink margaritas and all you can eat chicken wonton tacos.
Yeah, because you can get a bucket of margaritas for like $7 at Applebee's.
It's like those people that would go to 7-Eleven with a 5-gallon bucket.
He is. He's incredible, and WWE needs to do whatever they can to make sure that his name is on the dotted fucking line.
It's Just Wrestling Podcast just put out a new episode today. I believe you should go check that out.
They go deeper into the CM Punk shit. We're not going to talk about it, but he goes also into the Will Ospreay promo, talks about WrestleMania and his experience because he went there live because he lives in Philly.
Yeah, he was night one, I believe.
I bet you he wishes he went to night 2.
Well, you take what you can get, right?
And then Damian Priest came out, cashed in. Like I said at the top of the episode, top 3 cash in of all time. You go into the worst match of the
right fucking now.
Yeah, right now, ring the bell. It wasn't that Carmella situation where he was like, "Are you sure you want me to? Are you?" Yeah. Anyways, but we've talked about every other match in the card. I still feel Bayley and Io was the best women's match of the week.
Very good.
It was very good.
The triple threat did what it needed to do. It got Jade in front of a huge audience.
You mean 6-person?
The 6-person, yeah, sorry. Had Jade in front of a huge audience, protective, and Naomi didn't do shit. It protected them. Bianca's costume work is so good.
Made that costume overnight too.
Yep. She's just phenomenal.
Also, big fuck you to Mark Henry. Big fuck you. Leave my Joshi wrestlers alone.
What?
Oh, he said Kairi Sane is one of the most unprofessional people he's ever seen because she didn't get out of the ring quick enough when the girls were making their entrance.
She was dancing.
Yes.
To the music.
Yeah, they were all dancing because Bianca Belair's music is a bop.
It's absolutely a bop. I listen to it probably twice a week, not watching wrestling.
I'm on my own against the world. It's in my girl power playlist that I have.
You can't not, like, you don't even have a braid and you want to you want to do that. Reed, I agree. Let's see how it goes. I hope it's good.
I hope they at least give him till Caducey. Have Drew win the title back at Clash at the Caducey. I feel that'll be best. It looks like we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's talk about that main event and how it's essentially 13 years of stories built up. And all paid off in one match.
It truly is.
And it was perfect. It was everything I could. It was everything I wanted and more. I couldn't have asked for anything else other than Stone Cold Steve Austin showing up instead of The Undertaker.
So, Reed, to harken back, you had said earlier, but why The Undertaker? So, here's my thought process on this, because everybody knows they booked it perfectly too. So, Jimmy comes down first, Jay comes out to stop him. Solo comes out, Cena comes out because who did Cena lose his last match to? Solo. Got Samoan spiked a bunch, comes to take him out. Plus, Cena and The Rock, they have their thing. He goes to hit the AA, whatever happens, doesn't matter. Then you have The Undertaker pop up. Now, obviously,
don't forget about Seth coming out first in full Shield.
Yep, Seth comes out in full Shield gear and distracts, gets taken out, so he's outside the ring. Then lights go out. Undertaker pops up, takes out The Rock with the thing. My thing with this is that, in my opinion, had Taker been a full-time roster member, The Rock would not have gotten away with this final boss shit. And that's why I think Taker popped up. Obviously, I think it's because Stone Cold just didn't want to do it. But if you want to go into the story of it, Taker was the boss. Like, he was the guy. He was the one. Like, you didn't do shit without him. So I think that's why he popped up. Like, hey, if I was here, this wouldn't happen. Also, was it WrestleMania 18 where he popped up? Or whatever one it was, he was in Biker Taker, where he was Biker Taker, and him and Rock went at it.
That was the No Mercy leading up to Mania, because that was when him and Ric Flair had low-key the best match of the night on WrestleMania 18.
Yeah. So, like, there's history there, too. I don't think that was wrong. Son. I think if you would have chosen anyone else, it wouldn't have made sense.
I played off of Roman stole his retirement away from him.
Yeah, I mean, that could be it too, yeah.
Yeah, because he retired, and then Roman came out the next night and said, "This is my yard."
Thank God it wasn't Bill Goldberg.
Yeah, and I don't know. Undertaker has always had that little running feud with The Rock and
Yokozuna and Roman,
Yokozuna,
and
pretty much
Rikishi,
the entire Anoa'i family. Like, he's had feuds with all of them. So
who hasn't?
if you look at the history there, it makes sense that the Undertaker would show up to be like, I've watched Roman ruin this company for 3 years. I'm done, and take out The Rock to make sure that it's fair one-on-one. And then the poetic masterpiece, the best shot of the whole night, was Seth and Cody getting to their feet at the same time. Roman holding that chair. Like the Royal Rumble 2021, he couldn't let go. He had that choke in. Rollins had the ropes, and he looked at the ref. He was like, I will never let go. He was never letting go of that grudge with Seth Rollins.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of that, Seth is the only one that he couldn't beat without.
He's the only one he has not beaten in his title reign.
Yep.
He may have defended the title, but he never beat Seth Rollins.
Also, and fuck all of you, Kevin Owens won that title because Roman couldn't get up because they buckled his hands too close to the ground, and he couldn't stand up in that fucking whatever it was, the last man standing match. Kevin Owens won the goddamn match, and I will stand by that shit.
Oh, and then here you go. Heyman, his wise man, was also responsible for the man that broke his streak. The two people that have beaten Undertaker at WrestleMania, Paul Heyman has managed both of them. But yeah, and then Seth Rollins and Cody got to their feet, and Roman had the chair, and he could not let go of what happened with the Shield. And
also, MVP of the weekend was Seth.
Can you just let me finish?
Yes.
I'm going to start muting you because you do that a lot.
I can mute you too. It's okay. Continue.
He cracked Seth with the chair, which gave Cody enough time to recuperate, hit 3 of the worst finishers in wrestling history. The Crossroads sucks. Roman said it best in the match. He hit a Crossroads setup. He was like, that move fucking sucks. It doesn't beat anyone. And
then it did, which it was how it was set up. It was poetic.
I was still calling for the vertebreaker. Just fucking bring it back, Cody.
Seth Rollins, MVP of the weekend, by the way.
Yes.
Got his ass kicked for 2 nights. He closed the show, opened the show, closed the show. That's like going to work. And when you go to leave that night, you say, hey, you know what? There's a bunch of stock to put away. I'll put it away in the morning. You come in, the place has been robbed. And then you got to talk to the cops all day. And then at the end of the night, the place catches on fire. And you're just like, whatever. You've had those OCs, you know.
What?
It's like doing an open. It's doing like a close open.
It's
like, yeah, but then you have to close the next day too. It's like that. That's exactly what Seth just did. He got the shit kicked out of him night 1. Then on night 2, he comes out. He's fired up, loses his title, and then he has to close the night out wearing his old gear, getting rattled with a chair.
I just didn't understand the whole burning down and.
Yeah, it's like in Clerks when Dante went there and the place was on fire. Okay. In Clerks 2?
You're so pretty.
It's at the beginning of Clerks 2 when that place was on fire, and then they burned.
I understand what you're talking about here. It's just that your analogy is shit.
Yeah, well, you know, tomato, potato.
This is why we do interviews mostly now, because I can't stand you for a straight hour.
Isn't it amazing how good I am in interviews and how bad you hate me talking during a podcast? It's phenomenal. It's
like fighting with my anxiety. It's just always fighting me.
Yeah, well, that's because you lived with your mom and she did nothing to help you with that.
Just except put pills down my throat. Anyways,
run your credit score into the ground.
What credit score?
Yeah, that's exactly it. She took out a bunch of credit cards in your name and they fucked it up.
Yeah. So Cody won, and I want to give it some time to digest, but I personally am saying the best Mania main event of all time.
I loved it. I thought it was really good. Yeah, it's going to be, recency bias. I think this is really good.
Yes.
I think my issue with calling it the best of all time is just not quite there yet on it. Also, you know what? I mean, if it's main event, sure. I still think Taker Shawn was a better match. But this just everything. And then the ending was a little wonky to me, but I said, you know what? Screw it. Why not? There's been so much that has went on.
It was the end. It was the end of the Vince McMahon era. It was the end of Roman's title reign. It's the beginning of everything starting now that they did on Raw. We have the draft in a few weeks, and I'm actually excited to see how that shakes out because they're involving NXT. We saw the Raw debuts of Roxanne Perez and Ilya Dragunov this past week.
Dragunov came out and won and had a knockdown fight with Shinsuke Nakamura, and I thought it was pretty good.
Oh, I loved it. It was perfect.
I was stoked. I was real happy that Ilya was out there. Also, how much has he grown? Not to get off WrestleMania, but how much has Ilya Dragunov grown over the years to see this happen? And I want to see that whenever they do this, draft Gunther or Imperium as a whole to a show, the next pick for that show better be Ilya Dragunov. And I want a green room screen on Gunther. Mm-hmm. Because that's what I want to see.
I want to see the fear in his face. Like, have Gunther hate fuck Logan Paul for the U.S. title at this point. Fuck it. Do it. And then have Clash at the Caduceus. It's Ilya versus Gunther.
So if Drew is going after, if Drew is Drew and Punk, is it Drew and Damian? Like, what's the thing? Because we've hit that point where Judgment Day aren't really bad guys anymore.
No, they're good guys.
It's kind of hard to say that Damian is not.
They've got 3 faces and 2 heels in their stable.
Yeah, they've hit that weird. They've hit that really strange plateau.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me. There's 4 baby faces, 2 heels, because R-Truth, of course, is.
Well, yeah. Well, I was just going to say there's 4 people in a Lego man, but
who's the Lego man?
JD McDonough, which, by the way, Michael Cole had a fantastic move. He was like, somebody, I think it was Corey, was like, it was Pat. He goes, JD McDonough doesn't look too happy. And Michael Cole goes, nope, that's just him.
Well, yes, Jay won the number 1 contenders match later in the night to be next in line for Damian after CM Punk interfered and cost Drew McIntyre the match, which is Punk healing quick?
Allegedly, that's what it sounds like, because after the show, he came out and he said, next time that you see me, I'll have my boots on.
Could it mean for that city, though?
No, he just said he told the fans, everybody, next time you see me, I'll have my boots on. Because then they released it as a WWE.com exclusive thing.
Jesus Christ, man. It just shows what a change of environment can do. Because, maybe he didn't like working for Vince. Maybe that was it. Because as we saw, Vince just, was creatively bankrupt. And was unwilling to accept new ideas.
I wonder, because we saw a lot of it too. Triple H came out and talked about it. He said, hey, we're going to try different things. And it was in the, the WrestleMania post conference afterwards, night 2. He goes, we're going to try different things. He gave shout outs to people, but he talked about different camera angles. He talked about different setups for arenas, things like that. And every single person has been like, yes, please go with the smaller entrance, because it makes it, everybody's part of it. There's not this giant void of an open space where there was a sign. You know where that worked at? That worked at Kobo, because there was that one wall that had nothing on it. There were no seats there. It worked there. It does not work everywhere. Madison Square Garden has one of the coolest setups. And why is it cool for wrestling? Because it's got the tiny entrance.
You know what else is cool, though? Because, you spoke about the camera work. I want to talk about how cool of a shot. Because we brought up earlier the Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan thing, and how when they had the camera focused on Rhea, Dom went, "What the fuck are you doing?" and slapped the camera, and it went straight out into the arena where Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae were. Fuck you, Kevin Dunn. Fuck everything about you. I hate everything about you. The things that you have robbed us of for fucking decades. The beautiful camera work. All the scenes you've missed because you're just a buck uncouth motherfucking asshole who had no idea what he was doing. I hate you. I can't wait to read your fucking obituary. Fuck you. Never.
That's a little
Stay
desperate.
the fuck away.
Clint, hey, headphone warning for everybody. That doesn't work after the fact.
Good.
Anyway,
Good.
There was a couple of shots. So the beginning, I think it was the Rhea Becky match where they were like real close up and it was almost video game-esque, where they kind of panned across level with the top rope. And they had the close-ups on it. That Samantha Irvin being an absolute stud.
She should, whatever they're paying her, double it.
Yeah, she did an absolute phenomenal job. I had a blast watching Raw. I like that even though there's more seats in the arena, it feels like a more intimate experience.
It does. It feels super intimate. Just like the small little details of everything that they have done over the past few weeks.
Commentary is huge.
Like, you can hear fucking just Pat McAfee and Michael Cole having a good time because Pat will say something funny and Michael Cole is now allowed to laugh and be a human being, which I don't think people are ready for this discussion.
Michael Cole's better than JR.
Yes. No one is ready for that discussion.
I literally, so I was sitting here thinking about this as like, I'm like, okay, put my top 5 wrestling announcers together, and like everybody would go, oh, JR and King and whatnot. And JR was great at calling the matches that he called. But for me, it's 20 plus years of Michael Cole. And now I see what he's been capable of and what he's been held back from. Mm-hmm. It's really upsetting to know that we missed out on so much time of Michael Cole being actually really fun to listen to and really cool to watch. My favorites are I still love Mike Tenay and Don West. Like that is my favorite commentary duo. But like
Kevin Kelly and Josh Barnett over in New Japan.
And Ian Riccaboni is a damn good announcer for Ring of Honor, but Michael Cole is like, he's kind of cemented himself at the top of that list for me.
He's definitely hitting that GOAT tier status right now.
I like it's Don West, Mike Tenay, and then it's Michael Cole right underneath that.
Like, we talk about little things that like they're trying and getting like doing now. There was a little bit on Raw during that main event. This would never have flown in the Vince McMahon era, but it was when Ricochet was getting ready to do that 450 to the outside through the announce table. And before he did it, he looked over at Samantha and went, "Babe, I'm sorry. Don't be mad." And then he did the move, and a little touch like that with like his girlfriend sitting literally 20 feet from him as he's doing this shows how much he's willing to risk to become the number one contender. Just little touches like that. Also, what was it? Dave Hebner?
Earl Hebner.
What was that?
Earl Hebner. Oh, no, it was Brian Hebner.
Sorry. Brian Hebner. Yeah. I didn't know Hebner had a son until I heard this guy saying that she's over dramatic and has no place in the business. Which I've got like little to no time for that. She's phenomenal. Listening to her cry when she was fucking announcing Cody as the winner choked me the fuck up and made me cry. Michael Cole saying, "Damn it, I love professional wrestling."
Oh, yeah.
Like, us as fans, we never, like, watching WWE for fucking 2 decades, we don't get to hear the word professional wrestling anymore.
It's not a dirty word. He said a dirty word.
It's not a dirty word anymore. It's a beautiful word.
You're right. Hold on.
Yeah. Are you gonna? Yep.
Yes, you are. He was a terrible ref. That's why he was super young and still retired. Earl was a great ref.
Earl, fantastic ref. Love Earl.
Sorry
for the tangent earlier. I don't know if you can tell or not, but I feel the same way as John Moxley about Kevin Dunn.
I am just like, we talked about earlier, we started this because it was, AEW kind of brought that feeling back into wrestling. And I feel the same way that I did after Double or Nothing 21.
Yeah.
I feel really good. I feel like I'm like, tomorrow night is Friday night, and I want to go to SmackDown, and I'm going to see if I can like snag tickets somehow, and I'm going to try to take my daughter. But if I don't, I'm going to have a blast sitting at home. I mean, I'm going to make myself feel like I'm at Little Caesars, not because I'm broke, but I'm just going to go get a little hot and ready. We're going to sit on the couch. We're going to get greasy. I'm going to go like stand in line for my own bathroom because that happens around here. And then I'm going to sit in my seat. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put like blocks underneath it. So it makes me feel like I'm sitting like this. And I just really want to feel like I'm at LCA.
I will be at New Edge Pro. Let me actually pull that up.
Yeah, it's perfect. That's a great segue into this. We want to talk about New Edge Pro.
Yes. Oh, no, that's Metro Pro Wrestling I clicked on, which that's next week for the 420 show.
Yeah.
Yeah, because tomorrow night, because I'll talk about this because there's lore to this match and who I think is going to win. Tomorrow, Metro Pro New Edge Pro Wrestling is presenting Rock City Rumble. We're going to have a 20-man Rumble to determine the number one contender for the New Edge Pro Wrestling World Champion. And if you look up there in the top right, you're going to see Gigi Jacobs, one of my absolute favorites and a big friend of the channel's.
And he is notorious for his success in Rumble situations.
I've seen one Rumble live because I didn't go to the Rumble when it was in Detroit. And Gigi has won that Rumble after rolling out of the ring to eat your mozzarella stick and drink your beer.
Yes. So let's see who do we have in this match. We've got, of course, Gigi, Great Tiger, Maximilian, Trevor Stroud. It looks like we've got Animal Party, Kids Next Door, LaDon Sanders, 24K, TJK. Like, I see Alex Lynch. I see is that Love Shack?
Thomas Bailey. Yeah.
Yep. I see Ike Watts. I see August is in there. And I believe that's Austin, Mosh Pit Kid that's up here.
Yeah.
Yep. And the Dean of Mean, Caesar Asher.
So it's going to be a star-studded Rumble. Not on what is it? Also on top of that, they've got the Purge taking on those fucking guys with tag team title implications. The match I'm most looking forward to because I adore all four of these people. We have Rory Shields, Heather Blue, Stella Buho, and Max Rain in a fatal four-way in a women's scramble match. Studio 86, we just had Bill Martell on the show.
Please go back and watch that episode. Bill and I talk about, or we all talk about sports, but Bill and I could literally just sit here and talk about sports for the whole show.
We have Studio 86 defending the tag team titles against one of my favorite tag teams, straight out of Saginaw. And the main event of Kenny Steele defending the New Edge Heavyweight Championship against Adam Wick.
Sorry, sir. Repeat yourself.
Adam fucking Wick.
Thank you.
Yes. So that'll be a very, very fun show. And then next Saturday on 420, my holiday baby, we will be at Metro Pro Wrestling as they present Chronic Chaos. You're going to that one, right? Are you frozen again?
Am I better now?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said, and you heard that right. We will be at Metro Pro Wrestling.
Mm-hmm. And then you can find, we have so many shows coming up. I'll eventually get the ticker down there fixed up, probably for next week's show. I don't think we have anyone planned for next week, but plans change.
Yep. We do have two weeks from now.
2 weeks from now, we have Ray Larson joining us on the show, which that should be a blast because she's one of my best friends. And her and I, we have one brain cell between the two of us. So this interview is going to be Max and Heather levels of dumb. Especially if Nick and Ace join too.
Right. I would like to say, next week coming up on the 420 show, there's a ton of people booked for the MPW show. Maybe we'll see if we can get one of those fine folks to pop in. Maybe even a Thomas or somebody who is trying to make this card. One Xander Bennett, who has been shut out at every single step. But I would like to point out, Clash is next Friday. No, be our guest because the places that you're plugging are some places that we don't generally have the flyers and stuff for. Clash has the best flyers, by the way. Jeremy Jones over at Clash, I believe he makes his own flyers, and they are phenomenal.
Yeah.
I made a flyer.
You did. It's pretty fucking good, man.
It's decent.
I like it.
I like it too, but it's decent. I have some things that I looked at and I could have done better on it, but I do appreciate everybody that chimed in and said something that they liked it. If you want us to make more of them, pay us a nominal fee, like not a lot, but like just make me feel like I did something right, and I'll make them. Also, don't give me good promo photos because I had to go and hunt those down. And I'm not friends with everybody, and some people I don't know their real names.
No, I live in kayfabe, man.
So luckily, I everybody in that match I'm friends with on Facebook, so I was able to track them down.
I'm sorry for everyone's ears. It's just, as a camera person, I really, really appreciate good camera work, and to see what we've been missing out on for 25 years is upsetting.
Well, thank God it's not me, because I'd be like this.
Listen, okay, I love you. I love you so much. And
I got roasted on Saturday.
Yeah. So we hung out with Ray Larson and Nick Green. They came and watched Stand and Deliver with us, and I sent footage to Ray, and she was like, "Ethan, you do this cute thing that when you tilt your head, you also tilt the camera." So that's why I'm the cameraman and you're the guy that talks business with people.
I'm really good at running around and making sure Trevor has all his music. Also, hey, a couple of people we're going to talk to. Frio, thanks for coming over both days. If you're still in the chat, we appreciate it. You're a blast to hang out with. Everybody go check out it. Listen, honestly, if you're following our channel and you don't follow Hardcam Frio, what the fuck are you doing with your life? How did you even find us in the first place?
I don't know.
Then, so he's a good kid. You should go check him out. Then go check out the fuck was I saying? Where was I at? Where was I going with this?
I don't know. I want to shout out a few people.
Yeah. Shout out to Trevor for just being the big hog and holding it down at these shows, doing all of the music. He's available for weddings and bar mitzvahs as well.
I don't know about the bar mitzvah part.
Oh, you know why? Dick's not kosher.
Yeah. Anyways, I wanted to give a couple shout outs. One, Summer Rawson. I love you, dear. You're one of our favorites. Thank you for the undying support that you give us.
Also, great job at Wrestling Revolver a couple of weeks ago.
She is a stud. If we ever put together a wrestling promotion, you better believe she will be our lead commentator.
Wouldn't want to do a promotion, a one-off maybe, but not a promotion.
That's how it always starts. It starts with a one-off, and then it leads into a...
There's 19 different things here in Detroit. We don't need that.
I also want to take time to shout out Ray Larson for, again, and Nick Green for coming to hang out with us this past weekend, being very big friends of the channel. Always want to shout out Tango, because Tango has our backs more than anyone could possibly imagine at these shows. Johnny Delicious, love you, buddy. Jeremiah Goldmain, I know that he's had some history on this channel, but still got mad love for you, Jeremiah. Thank you for reaching out today. And to everyone who reached out, we love you, we appreciate you, and thank you for supporting us consistently.
Yeah, we see the messages. We appreciate it. With that said, I think a nice little note to end on is women's wrestling is super important, and it's just as important as the men. So that's why we put an emphasis on it on this channel. That's why we're excited for this this women's scramble match that's taking place at New Edge tomorrow.
And Divine Women's Wrestling, which we are being a big part of on April 26th.
Yep. So it's a great thing. And we put all of our efforts into it because it needed the light shined on it. And I'm not people that put on we give a conduit to the excellent place, the excellent work that these people do.
Oh, fuck you, Reed. We actually do love you guys. We actually love you too. Believe it or not.
Hey, I'm glad you came. Normally, you would be tuning in right now, and we'd be like, "Hey, we're signing off," and Reed's like, "Fuck, I just got here."
I know I'm gonna if I stream on Twitch tonight, that he's gonna be in the chat going like, being the only person keeping the conversation alive. And I always appreciate that about Reed.
Yep. And I'm going to be on TikTok selling Pokemon cards.
So you can find us elsewhere later tonight, whether it's me on Twitch or him on TikTok. If you like Pokemon cards, go check him out. If you like dudes getting stoned playing cat video games, come check out my channel.
Yeah.
And just again, thank you for everyone, because it's been a stressful couple days for us after we had a great weekend.
I'm still having a good week, man. I'm not letting anything.
I'm having a good
I'm
week
not...
just because, like, just the overwhelming response from everyone. And another big shout out to Annie, my co-host for the FU Wrestling pre-shows. Annie is a wonderful person, has a beautiful soul, and a positivity I wish I could bottle and inject in my veins. Because if I was high on Annie's positivity, I would never have needed drugs.
I think on that note, we're going to end for the night. Thank you, everybody. This has been On a Forklift. You can find us at On a Forklift Wrestling Pod on
I'm
YouTube.
Clinton Davis.
Yeah, in the hooch. You can just find me wherever. Look for the hooch. We love you, Judy.
Have a good night.